And what if somebody comes to you and says, Fuquan, I really trust you. You know how to do all this construction stuff, house flipping, but I don't want to be involved. I have capital, but you have to do all the rest. How does that work? Can people come to you and say, I want to just invest and get my returns?
Yeah, we actually have a fund, a vehicle set up just for that. The first thing I would really do is try to figure out what are their investment goals and what are their expectation. And I would let them know that everything is a risk. You can lose some of your money, you can lose all of your money, but here's how it's secured to protect you. And once I understand their goals and pretty much what they're looking for, then we will just explain to them, how this fund works. And typically, this fix and flip fund pays 12%, but it's a 2-year term. And most of the projects can be anywhere from a year to 2 years, just depending on the type of project we're doing. And the reason some of them take longer is because architecture drawings, variants, some things that you need in order to get permits approved, and that can take a long time to get done. And then once you sit on the market, you need about at least 90 days from the time you list to sell. So, this is why we have the 2-year hold. And then a person will make 12% per annum. And then when the property sells, they get paid all their money. So that's the way for them to make a really good return. But it's no monthly payments, there's no quarterly payments. It's just one payout when the property sell. And that gives because there's no income coming from the property, right? So we're taking the money, we're buying it, we're fixing it, we're listing it, we sell it, and then that's when the investor who partner with us get paid. And that's typically how that works.
And that's always 12% fixed. That's what they know they would get. So,
Yes.
and if, for example, the construction gets more expensive, then you would have to take that cut and it's your risk.
Well, the investor is like a lender, right? It's like if I came to you and I said, "Hey, G, I need 100,000 at 12% for 2 years, G," and you go, yeah, sure. And I'll say, "This is what I'm going to use the money for." Now, if um, my contingency is 30% more than what I expected, that's a loss on me. I still have to pay you, the lender, the 12%. It, that's typically how it works. So when I go to sell the house, basically there's a payoff that is requested from the lender. The lender sends the payoff that goes to the title company. The title company who's doing the transaction will ensure that the lender gets paid at closing. So that's typically how it works.
I once tried and or did some investments with it's a peer-to-peer lending platform registered here in Europe. So they pull money from private investors and they do real estate projects. And some of them worked out well, but actually to real estate, somehow the construction never finished. The contractor, I think, went broke and now they're still collecting the money back. So I had some not so nice experience with that one. And it's all with that agency. And I'm like, yeah, they're trying to recover the funds and trying to resell, but it's going on for 3 years now.
Wow. Well, the difference, right? That I always tell people when you're dealing with a platform versus a person, right? So I'm a hands-on operator. I'm actually dealing with the contractors, the GCs, the project managers, working with them in the trenches on the projects. It's not a platform or me looking at spreadsheets and abdicating the responsibility to everyone else. Investors get to communicate with me directly. They get to call me. They can schedule meetings with me,
Mhm.
give updates. And that's one thing that we do pride ourselves on is communication to our investors, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. We like to communicate to them and talk to them about the challenges that we're having and what are we doing to overcome them. And then where do we end up at with the final resolution. But as I mentioned before, when I first speak to the investor, I do explain the risks and I do tell them, hey, there's a great reward here, but you have to look at the downside also, that you can't lose your money. This is how you're protected through the lien on the property, right? If I get hit by a bus and the construction project's not finished, you get paid by the property being sold and you're recouping your investment.